You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. From the start, I've been out here fighting demons, I got all the answers. Baby, you a dancer. Shorty.
Welcome to another episode of the Brosketeers podcast. I'm your host, Isaac Cruz, a podcast produced by Ricardo Colon and Christopher Diaz, hosted by me, your host, Isaac Cruz, and written by me, your host, Isaac Cruz. And today, we're bringing you the situation of YouTube. Of course, YouTube, the platform where I am at right now, and every podcast platform, by the way. A platform where everybody, do watch their favorite shows, listen to their favorite music, watch their funny videos, and even the easy platform for a lot of people to do entertainment and be great entertainers, and the easiest access to be a great star. So we will talk about that, and we'll also talk about his downs. Of course, YouTube has a lot of downs, and it's nice to criticize it. It's nice to talk about it because YouTube, as good as it is, it also has his little dark side that is way dangerous than any other platform. I'm not saying that other platforms have their dark side that's really dangerous, but what I'm saying is that YouTube have YouTube's one is really way dangerous than any other platforms themselves. So I need something to drink. The Brosketeers podcast will begin right now.
You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. From the start, I've been out here fighting demons, I got all the answers. Baby, you a dancer. Shorty, she a cancer, but she ain't got no manners. You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. From the start, I've been out here fighting demons, I got all the answers. Baby, you a dancer. Shorty, she a cancer, but she ain't got no manners. You having the time of your life, and I'ma let you. I know the timing ain't right, but I can't forget you. You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. From the start, I've been out here fighting demons, I got all the answers. Baby, you a dancer. Shorty, she a cancer, but she ain't got no manners. Who have you become? You'll have to find another way. Baby girl, the one, but go find another heart to break. I need more, I need answers. Every time I ask you, you just shrug and put your hands up. This money made me handsome. You held my heart for ransom. Baby girl, I understand you tryna get your fans up. You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. From the start, I've been out here fighting demons, I got all the answers. Baby, you a dancer. Shorty, she a cancer, she ain't got no manners. You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. I got all the answers. Baby, you a dancer. Shorty, she a cancer, she ain't
Oh,
got no manners.
okay. So let's talk about YouTube itself. And YouTube, like I said, has its good things, but also has its bad things. And let's begin with the good things. I want to begin with the good things. I don't want people to say, "Oh, you just want to criticize the bad things." No. The good thing about YouTube is that YouTube is an easiest access for those of you who are looking to be part of any field on the entertainment field. You know, such as actors or hosts or music artists or anything. Um, YouTube is the easiest access, even in animators and stuff. Is the easiest access for you to get there, and you create a whole channel about whatever you want to do based on the entertainment field, for you to be a great entertainer, and gives you the opportunity to expose that talent internationally to the world, and be a great entertainer. And it's complicated to get those subscribers and to get those people, but like I said, little by little, if your content is really good, you will get your subscribers, you'll get your people. You know, it's all in this world about being patient. So you just have to be patient about it. But like I said, it's an easy access to that. It's also an easy access to advertise your business, any kind of business that you're planning on doing, that you want to advertise. You can use YouTube, and YouTube can make you an advertisement, or you can make a small advertisement on your own and with another app, and you can upload it on YouTube, and YouTube can, promote it around. It's like I said, it has this good advantage, and it's a really good platform for things like that. For musicians, for those of you that want to be musicians and are doing shows somewhere else, and you want to record it, you edit it, and post it on YouTube, and you know, from that, who knows, somebody likes you, musicians and guys, they like your music and anything, and they just, you know, decided to give you a contract, you know, on you know on on a music record. Sorry, I'm really paying attention to the song. Um, yeah, I'm gonna slow down on the music because honestly, I don't want any copyright or whatever. So I'm just gonna put the ones that you know are not copyrighted. That's one of the bad things I'm gonna talk about YouTube, the copyright thing, which is it's good because it protects content, but at the same time, it's kind of my thoughts on it. Here's my thoughts on it. So yeah, it has its good things, and if you want to be actors, you can create a whole channel of like movies, and you can create and edit movies. Nowadays you get the easiest access to be part of the entertainment field. That if you want to be part of. Back then in 2016, in 2015, in 2014, uh, even back even back when there was no internet, back in the 70s, 80s, 60s, you know, it was hard to be an actor, a host, a musician, because you didn't have that easiest platform. And if you want to be one of those things, you had to, well, you still go to college for that, but back then you had to, like, you know, when went to college, you had to, like, after get your diploma, you went to a studio and kind of, kind of apply for a job and kind of there and kind of, cross fingers. So whenever you wanted to get a job there or anything. But nowadays it's so easy nowadays, because nowadays everybody has access to technology. Back then people that had access to technology were people who were, you know, were having a really good network, and were people with real good money that couldn't afford it because it was really expensive back then. And not everybody has access to the internet. Not everybody had access to all those things. So if you want to have access to those things, you gotta make real good money, or go to a family member's house where they had the internet access, because a lot of things back then, and still on college, they were required with computers and laptops and back then all that stuff. And yes, back then there were computers. Uh, they were there. the screen. There were those old computers that, back when there was those computers. It's not like there were no computers back then. There were, um, but like I said, you need to have so much money in able to afford it because it was really expensive back then. Because the thing is, back then the technology was a big deal. If people who had technology were fucking kings because it was a huge thing. Like back in the 80s. Like think about it. Back in the 80s and the 60s, there was no technology, there was no map books, there was no Facebook, none of that. And so when that came out at first, everybody was so amazed because it looked so amazing. It looked so, when the iPhones, the phones, and everything came out, it was people were amazed. Um, and everybody wanted it. So if you get it, you were a king and you made real good money. That's how people knew you had real good jobs. Because you back then it was hard to get those iPhones and those Androids and those technologies back then was hard to get. If you wanted, like I said, if you wanted to get it, you probably needed to make some real good money because it was really goddamn expensive. Um, what I'm going at with this is that back then, if you were on YouTube, yeah, if you were on YouTube back then, uh, uh, you were the king too, because not everybody could be on YouTube back then. Back then not everybody could be on YouTube, and if you were on YouTube back then, I'm talking about the 80s and 60s. I'm talking about the like 2010, 2011, 2015, 2016, you know, 2017, all those, back then, if you were on YouTube, you were the king. And I remember when I first was on YouTube, when I was on my first YouTube video, the first ever time I was introduced to the world was as a Michael Jackson impersonator. You guys know the whole story already. It's on all podcast platforms. Um, and I was like the king because like everybody, when I got on YouTube, everybody on school were like, Isaac is on YouTube. Oh my god! Like it was such a big deal, for you to be on the internet. And what I'm trying to say with this is that the access was so hard back then. Now it's not. Now it's like it's easy to be on YouTube nowadays. Nowadays everybody create a channel or whatever the fuck, and they make some content and that's it. And it's on YouTube. It's not nowadays. It's not hard, including the fact that now we have TikTok, and we have things like Instagram where people even do content there, and we have things like which is now easier. Especially with TikTok, is easier. Because they download TikTok, they create a small, simple account, and they do like a whole 60 seconds or 15 seconds, entertaining little video, um, and that's it. They have a whole account, and the video goes all around the world. This is international. TikTok is like YouTube, but with only a video of 60, 15 seconds, and you are allowed to put edit, which that's the difference. In YouTube you cannot really edit unless you put it on computer or have an app like we do, where you can uh, take the video that you recorded and edit it, but edit it directly. If like what I mean is like YouTube doesn't have the tools like TikTok has for you to edit real good and post it already edited real good. Like it doesn't offer you those tools to uh, edit, such as TikTok do. So that's the only difference. And the awesome difference is that in TikTok it's easy to get followers. The more you post, the more for you hashtag that you put for your page, the more views you get, and the more followers time on a time you get. It's like TikTok give you those free followers. In YouTube, you gotta work for them, and they're subscribers, and you gotta work for the subscribers by proving to them their good content. and it takes time and time and time. It's not like TikTok. TikTok is like, you know, fast and gives it to you for free. So that's the advantage that YouTube had. You know, like they had that easy access to everything nowadays, and that's a good thing. And it's also good for, like I said, promotions. And if you're trying to be in the entertainment field, such as host, actor, comedian, musician, whatever, you have that access. You have that, you know, that access. You know, it's not hard nowadays. Um, Also, the good thing about it is that you can watch if you somehow cannot watch American Dad per se, an episode of American Dad or Family Guy, somehow, you are able to, um go to YouTube, and you go on the search engine, or you go American Dad full episodes, or Family Guy full episodes, you know, and you can watch it there. Also, if somehow you cannot afford Disney Plus, and you cannot watch some shows on Disney Plus, such as The Simpsons or Phineas and Ferb, or all those shows, you can go to YouTube and you can type it in on the search below, like Phineas and Ferb full episodes, The Simpsons full episodes, and they show you a free streaming of those things, of those child shows that you can't watch on Disney Plus because somehow you can afford it. Uh, which everybody can afford Disney Plus. It's not like Disney Plus is not a big deal, but like I said, I mean, you just like I said, um, if you somehow can't, you can go to YouTube and go and search it on the envelope. There you go. You have the full episodes. There's movies you also can watch. You can put free movies, and you can watch free movies in there. But movies are not a big deal because nowadays people go to Netflix or HBO Max. But somehow, if I say somehow, you can't afford that somehow. I'm not saying, I'm not saying that you are not able to. Like, I'm not saying it's obvious that everybody has it and can afford it. But if somehow, let's say you can or something, like giving you an example that you still have that opportunity from YouTube. And so that's a good thing about YouTube. All the putting aside the fact that also you can learn stuff, like if you're trying to jump a car. For those of you that don't know, jumping a car is when you put a wire and, and another wire, like the positive and the negative, through the car's battery. And what that does is you turn the car on, like boom, 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 and what it does is it gives, like it gives energy to the other car. It jumps the car. It gives um energy to the car's battery uh, to the car to be able to turn on, and the battery to function. So that you can search those kind of videos on YouTube. You can also, and boom, and you can learn, from other things too. Like if you want to how to make a cupcake, you go to YouTube and how to make a cupcake, and that's it. If you want to learn how to use the use a coffee maker, that's like it's not that coffee maker. It's that it's the one that you put on the stove. Which one is it? I don't know. Guys, trying to find the image of it and put it on the screen. I don't know yet. I don't know. Anyway, so for example, I didn't know how to use that coffee maker, and I was like, because my mom had one of those, and I didn't know how to use one of those. I just went on YouTube and went, hey, I just went on YouTube and um, and search it, how to use the small coffee maker, blah blah. I don't even remember, right? This was a long time ago, but I remember I searched that up, and and what happened was, once I searched that up, right? Uh, I put it. I watched the video and I started step by step pausing the video and repeating everything that that they were doing, and that helped me learn. So that's what I'm saying. Like it also helps you learn stuff that you cannot do or that you never did that you want to learn to do. That you can search it up on the YouTube and you can do it quickly and fast. Let's move on to the negativity of it. I already spoken a little bit about of everything about the good thing about it. Now the negativity of it, and let's talk about the negativity of it. Um, the suggestions. I'm talking about you search one thing. Let's say you watch a cartoon of something or football, and after that video is over, out of nowhere, if you're not careful with YouTube, it can show you a video of two people having sex. Like that's how crazy it is, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's the bad thing about it because everything is running. Everything in YouTube is running. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I'm not saying they don't take down videos that are not good to see because I remember back then when the suicide videos were becoming famous on YouTube, where a lot of people were hanging and shooting themselves on live streams and they make videos of it. YouTube changed the rules, which by the way they did, and put a really strict rule for those kind of videos. So once they see those kind of videos are pulled up, they take it down immediately. Or if they see that someone did a live stream where they suicide, they immediately take down their channel. Um, and like that's the another thing about YouTube, man. You see some crazy stuff in there that's not appropriate. But I'm not saying I'm not saying that's not appropriate. Like like it's not for children, so like not appropriate, like not appropriate, like it should be not on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That is the first thing about it, and that's what make YouTube also so dangerous because it can also, you know, make other people do it, like other people that maybe are going through the same thing that person was going, or something somehow they watch it and they go, if he's doing it, then why shouldn't I? And nowadays we live in a world where kids like to repeat everything, but every freaking thing that their icons do, and it's not a joke. Like nowadays is if a kid is such of a fan of something that they repeat everything of their heroes. And I'm not saying that I did it too. I did repeat some things of some people I used to worship. I used to see up as my heroes, and I used to repeat some of their stuff when I was a kid. And when I was young, when I was like around 14, 15 years old, I used to repeat something from for example, when I remember when I got heartbroken by a lot of girls, and I used to watch a lot of Charlie Sheen. Right? Charlie Sheen, like back then when I was young, it was like my hero, bro. Like he was, you know, the person I back then that I worship, like because like I was like, that guy never gets heartbroken and he gets all the girls and I used to follow that guy. I used to like, I used to think that guy was the king. That I used to repeat. I remember I used to break girls' heart the way he did in Two and a Half Men. Like I used to, play with the girls' feelings and stuff, and I used to break girls' heart badly, and I regret it because damn. Now I look at it like, oh, that was childish and that was stupid. But man, I was so bad back then when I was 15, 14 years old. When it comes to women's, bro, back then when I was 14, 15, bro, I was a fucking asshole with the girls, man. I used to treat them like pigs. And I regret it. I honestly, I do regret it, and I sometimes, a lot of times I live with the guilt. But bro, I was an asshole, and it just that's the thing. I mean, I used to everything that I did from everything that I learned from Charlie Sheen, I did it when I was young. Because I was tired getting heartbroken. I was frustrated that I was getting heartbroken by the girls, and that I just started behaving like Charlie Sheen with the girls. And I regret it, man. I really live with the guilt. But, like, you know, like I'm saying, kids nowadays repeat everything they see from their heroes. It's like when we were kids. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of WWE. And yeah, a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. WWE, I don't even have to say it. It's pretty famous. Everybody knows what WWE is. Bro, I wanted to be a WWE pro wrestler since I was a kid, right? And I used to, bro, I used to repeat it. In fact, it's right here. Like, I was a big fan of WWE when I was a kid. And I used to repeat everything I saw on WWE, bro. I'm not joking. Ask anyone in my family, bro. Every single time, every Friday after school, that I watch Friday Night SmackDown or Saturdays and Sundays when I used to watch a pay-per-view event with my grandpa or anything. Bro, I used to repeat it, bro. I even tried, not joking. I'm not even making this up, bro. Like, I even tried to RKO a student back in elementary school, bro. It's not a joke, bro. It sounds funny, but it's really true. When I was in school, in elementary school, I used to go to Gullet Elementary School, bro. I swear, bro, I tried to RKO a student, I almost got in trouble, bro. Like, no cap, bro. Like, I was so afraid, like, yeah. I was so afraid that, they were gonna call my grandparents and that, because my grandparents were like, my grandpa Lewis was like, Papa, you can watch this, but you better not repeating that on school. You know what I'm saying? And like, he's not mean or anything. Like, he didn't say it because like, oh, he's mean. Of course not. I got the best grandparents ever. Uh, but he just loved me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want me to get in trouble or do anything ridiculous or get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because the WWE stuff is done by professionals. And if you repeat when you don't know how to do it, you're gonna get hurt and badly. Even that, like not joking. A lot of pro wrestlers died for making a really bad move. So I'm just saying, I tried to RKO a kid when I was in elementary school, bro. I'm not joking. I did try it once, and I almost got in trouble. The teacher back in high school in my freshman year, bro, when I was even still into pro wrestling, bro. I remember my brother Juan was like at the front of the campus, like in the front of it. That was the good old days back in 2018 at the beginning of freshman year, bro. I remember, bro, like it was right there, bro, and I went like I was like this far, right? You cannot see it, right? But I was like this far, right? And I ran straight towards him, bro. And I was like, I went straight to RKO him. I didn't get to RKO him because he pushed me forward. But still, I almost got in trouble. The administrator looked at me seriously like, what are we trying to do? I was shitting myself. I almost got in trouble. But what I'm saying by this is, bro, be careful. Don't repeat. Here's the thing, like, kids repeat everything they see. And I used to repeat a lot of pro wrestling when I was young. Trust me. A lot. No joking. A lot of pro wrestling when I was a child. And I almost got in trouble twice for it. And I don't want to watch it much because it's not like back in the good old days, uh, but it reminds me of my childhood, man. I used to repeat every single thing, WWE, like, bro. And yeah, I also what else I used to repeat, bro. I when I got into Michael Jackson and I started to dance like him, bro. I swear, bro. Not, and I know this is embarrassing for me to say, but I'll say it. What the fuck? I even did my hairstyle like him. You know this baby hair thing. Take it right there on the screen. You know this baby hair thing that you put right here. I put that, you know, bro, right on my, you know, I did that hairstyle, bro. No joke. And it's just the thing is, I even try to I got too much in the person in the character of Michael Jackson back then, so maybe yeah. So what I'm saying is, man, kids repeat everything they see from their idols. You know, if their idol says, you know, kids, you should go and fart on the movie theater because it's good, the kids are gonna go there and fart on the movie theater. What I'm saying is, it's because those are their idols, so they're gonna follow everything they see from their idols, and they listen to their idols. It's like, man, like they're kids for those children. Like they hallelujah. Yeah, it's just, you know, and it's not good. That's the also, you know, the darkness of YouTube. Like that's not good because you're repeating everything, man. It's just not okay, you know. And including these YouTubers, which I'm not gonna get into that. But one of the trouble things about YouTube, I'm not gonna get into that or get explicit about it because I'm not trying to get taken down by YouTube. But you know, there's these YouTubers that got in trouble because of pedophilia. Um, there's a lot of YouTubers that got in trouble because of that. You know, a lot of the times they did some horrible things. They took advantage of their fans. They did some horrible things, and their fans listen to them. It's like, oh, it's a good thing, and like, oh, it's not. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they follow everything. They listen and followed, and only want to follow and listen and pay attention to their idol. It's just when the kids are too obsessed with something, and trust me, I've been a lot of the time with things. They get into things, and a lot of the times, you know. But they're just kids and stuff. So at the end of the day, they will grow and, you know, and understand that they that what they did. It's really stupid, which is what happened to me. Um, when I grew and I was like, you know, I used to think like, damn, when I used to work at old people, you know, that was so fucking stupid. I should have never done that. Uh, when I used to when I did my Michael Jackson hairstyle back then. Now that I look at it, back then for me it was like kind of all lit. I look sexy on it, but like back then, back then it was like that. But nowadays, like I look at it like no. It looks horrible. Uh, when you grow, you develop and you realize what you did wrong. Especially what I did with the girls. I apologize, and I'm gonna say right here, right now, to all those girls that I break their heart to. I know they want to see me on an early grave right now, but I am really sorry. Like really, from the heart, I am really sorry. I apologize. And really am. I mean it. I'm really sorry. I apologize for breaking your hearts and for treating you like you were a second-class citizen. You know what I mean? I'm really sorry. You know, I'm really sorry. Um, so yeah, to finish up, one of the things about YouTube that I don't really like much, that I don't like at all, it's a lot of times the copyright. You know, I understand that, you know, the copyright is good because it protects your content. When you put content for somebody else or anything. But a lot of the times, I mean, like for example, if I put here a content about Michael Jackson, my YouTube video will definitely 100% get blocked. And I had to delete it and take it down and everything. And but if somebody else posts, but what about those who post who has channels of Michael Jackson, and they post videos of daily of Michael Jackson music videos and live performances, and they don't get copyright somehow. We don't like we got copyright last video because we put a documentary about the making of Linkin Park's main rock album, minutes making of the minutes to midnight. It took me a hard ass time to make that video. I'm talking about edited and everything. It was so good. It was gonna be so funny. I was like so confident this video is gonna be a blow up. But YouTube blocked it because of copyright content. Blah blah blah. I deleted it. I got really frustrated. I'm like, but it's still not a podcast platform. So you can go on Spotify, Google Podcast, Radio Public, Breaker Podcast app, you know, and you can still listen to it. You can still listen to it and enjoy it. But just kind of frustrated because I wanted it to be on YouTube also for you guys to watch it. And it was pretty funny. Uh, but I understood why, and like, if somebody else make a podcast and use the song "Don't Need Love," which by the way, YouTube, pay attention. The song "Don't Need Love" by 340 Odi is our song of the show, so make sure nobody steal that. If somebody make a podcast and use the song "Don't Need Love" by 340 Odi, we will report it. Me, myself, and the guys back there in the office, everybody will report it and claim that to YouTube. Because like YouTube, that's the song was used for our show. And their video will get taken down, right? Because we already got the rights to use "Don't Need Love" for our show, and nobody else can steal it. It's like somebody else also made the podcast and has the same aspect, the same looking of our show. Like has a WWE belt, has this board right here, has the ads, the Monopoly poster I got in this side that you guys can't see, but it's on this side. Uh, and it also makes an intro with the flashing lights, and we are and name it the Prosketeers podcast because the Prosketeers podcast and you use the same intro and everything of the show. So we are able to go to YouTube and say, hey YouTube, this is so wrong. This shouldn't be done because this is our production, what it's doing. YouTube is allowed to take it down. So what I'm saying with this is copyright is good, but it's also kind of unfair on that sense of like, okay, if you block my content because it's somebody else's content, what about other channels that post daily videos of live performances of Linkin Park, live performances of Michael Jackson, and even music, and even people repost music videos of artists such as, like I said, Michael Jackson, Bob Marley, Linkin Park, Dead by Sunrise, Great Ace, Slipknot, Five Finger Death Punch, from YouTubers like people repostings from YouTubers like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, let's say, which by the way, okay, Paul, and which other YouTubers, Rice Gum, Bob Mary, just and they don't get taken down somehow, So so if I post something of a Linkin Park of Michael Jackson or whoever the case may be of other content, might get taken down. That's why I say that it's kind of unfair and it's not okay in that sense of a part, but it's good because it protects your content. Like I said, if somebody makes a podcast with our same intro and outro song, we have the rights to go to YouTube and claim that because, listen up YouTube, Don't Need Love by 340 Odi is the song of our show. So we are have the rights to go and say, hey, block this. So that was the podcast of today. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you liked it. I'm gonna give my thoughts on this. Just I liked it. Uh, I love YouTube. I love making YouTube, and I hope to make YouTube many, 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 many goddamn fucking years more to come. And ladies and gentlemen, I love working on podcasting and radio. So I hope that in the future, when I graduate from college for radio broadcasting, I hope to work on radio, and also will create my YouTube channel. Because like I said, I love making YouTube, and I hope to do it for many, 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 many years to come. Next Saturday, we will have the Monster Facts segment again, and we will talk about the year zero. A lot of people ask, "What's the year zero?" Then you gotta wait for next Monster Facts segment. And I want to make clear before we end that the Monster Facts segment, you should watch it under your responsibility. We do this segment because of entertainment purposes and only for entertainment purposes. You know, this segment is not only created by me, but it's also created by the producers and the people on the office back there. You know, like I said, we work together to create these segments and make a better show every day. So, the Monster Track segment is a segment about serial killing and horror and suspense and and Satanism and all that stuff. So it's not uh it's not viewable for sensitive people. So if you somehow get sensitive over seeing a monster or a devil or a demon or whatever the case may be on that segment, or in this case this song, um, then don't watch it. Don't watch this segment at all. Skip it. Um, and if you want to watch it at your own risk. We're not responsible for anything. If Isaac and the Musketeers podcast, they put the devil in it, and they said that this, that, and that, talk about Anton LaVey, or they talk about the serial killer Frank Hunk, or it, on the, again, it's about those things, the Monster Facts segment. And this segment is already in here. This segment already has audiences and people liked it, so we're not gonna take it down. So watch it at your own risk, enjoy it at your own risk. We're not responsible. Again, me and the Musketeers podcast, we're not devil worshippers or whatever the case may be that you might think. We're none of that. We're just, again, we do the segment for entertainment purposes only. It's made only to entertain you and for you to come here and have a good time. The Musketeers podcast produced by Ricardo Colon Luna and Christopher Diaz, hosted by me, your host, Cruz, and written by me, your host, Cruz. All rights are reserved. 2021, listen YouTube. All rights of the Musketeers podcast are reserved. So listen, just in case you see somebody stealing something from our show, you block that. So yeah, we'll see you in another episode of the Musketeers podcast tomorrow, Sunday, and next Saturday on our Monster Facts segment. So we'll see you.
You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it. You took my heart, fuck that shit, girl, I don't need it.